Breezy victories for the Bronx Bombers, who will try to make it 3 in a row. This afternoon, they give the ball to Garrett Cole. It is a birthday start for the ace, who can end this road trip on a very high note. It is time for one more matinee at Wrigley Field as the New York Yankees take on the Chicago Cubs on a Sunday afternoon in Chicago. These wins in Chicago have boosted the Yankees' road record to 45-29. That is the very best mark in all of baseball. A victory today would give them another winning road trip, and it would be their first series sweep since taking 3 against the Philadelphia Phillies at the end of July. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees batting practice today, presented by Audi. I'm Nancy Newman. The Yankees pitching has been dominant over these first 2 games in Chicago. 2 shutouts. They've been helped in a big way by the return of 2 key starters. Luis Gil fired 6 sharp innings in the opener, and yesterday, Clark Schmidt picked up right where he left off. After finally putting a lat strain behind him, Schmidt made his first start since May 26th and looked like he did not miss a beat. 4 2/3 scoreless innings, which lowered his season ERA to a stellar 2.34, and over his last 5 starts, it's under 1. And Nestor Cortes came out of the bullpen to finish things off as the Yankees tossed back-to-back shutouts for the 4th time this season. They have 13 shutouts overall, tied for the most in the American League with the Mariners and the Red Sox, and one off the Major League lead. The final line for Schmidt, 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 of them singles, and on the other, the pop fly triple that hugged the foul line, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. He got up to 75 pitches, which was 5 more than he threw in his final rehab start. After the game, Schmidt talked about how it felt to get back on the bump.
Obviously very amped up in the first. I think as much as I was trying to control the emotion, definitely still really excited to be back out there, and obviously in front of a great crowd and in a fun park, and just really excited to be out there competing again.
3 months is a long time for a pitcher to be laid off during this season. Just, are you pleasantly surprised with how well the ball was coming out this afternoon?
No, I don't think so. I think it's been really, really good so far in the minor leagues, like as far as like mechanics and being able to repeat the delivery, and the stuff's been sharp. So I think this is something that, we're able to maintain, and just really excited to kind of get back on the, getting back out there every turn and just feeling good.
Physically, how did you feel throughout it?
Felt great. I think once I got beyond that first of facing the first, walking the first guy, I was like, all right, time to lock back in. But physically felt really good.
Clark, you were always on a pitch count today. How did you feel when you were at that limit physically? Yeah, it felt great.
I mean, obviously I'm fighting to get more pitches there, trying to get through the 5th right there. But yeah, I think, when we got to that point, I felt like I still had a lot of strength and I wasn't fatiguing at all.
On to today's game is the pitching matchup between friends at the friendly confines. Former Yankee Jameson Taillon gets the ball for the Cubs. He's 9-8 with a 3.66 ERA. And for the Yankees, it's the birthday boy, Garrett Cole. He turns 34 today. He's 6-3 with a 3.65 ERA, and he'll try to bookend this road trip with victories. On Monday in Texas, Cole overpowered the Rangers for 6 innings. He gave up 1 run on 4 hits, walked 1, fanned 9. Cole got 14 swings and misses, with 10 of them coming on his fastball. This will be just the 2nd time in his career that Cole starts on his birthday, and he really seemed to enjoy it the first time. In 2019, he dominated the Mariners. 8 innings, 1 run on 1 hit, no walks, 15 strikeouts. Cole is 11-4 versus the Cubs in his career, and he's 7-1 with a 2.29 ERA at Wrigley Field. Cole is our key to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers, and he's been great on the road recently. 4-1 with a sub-2 ERA, 37 strikeouts against just 6 walks in 28 innings, and opponents are batting just .210 against him. Add to that his success at Wrigley, and things are lined up for a solid outing. On the other side, it'll be one of Cole's very best baseball buddies, Jameson Taillon. The two came up in the Pirates organization, then shared a clubhouse again in the Bronx. This will be the first time they pitch against each other. Taillon is coming off with Gem. On Monday, he threw 7 shutout innings versus the Pirates, but that's a bit of an outlier. Over his last 7 starts, he has a 5.40 ERA. He earned a win against the Yankees last season, holding them to 1 hit in 8 scoreless innings. innings. This season, though, Tyone has been much better on the north side of Chicago than on the road. He's 5-4 with a 2.64 ERA at home, while his ERA away from Wrigley is closer to 5. One matchup to watch today. Anthony Rizzo is batting .400 with a couple of homers off Tyone, and maybe he'll be looking to cap this homecoming weekend with a grand finale. We mentioned how good Garrett Cole was the only other time that he pitched on his birthday. Maybe that was because his, at the time, teammates, the Astros, got him just what he wanted. They gifted Cole with 21 runs of support that day against Seattle. 22 hits, 13 of them for extra bases. We shall see what the Bombers have wrapped up for Cole today. It'll be the same Yankees lineup for all 3 games this series, which has seen Rizzo's first time back at Wrigley Field since he was traded to the Bombers in 2021. He's a career .294 at the ballpark with 109 homers and an OPS over 900, a key piece of the 2016 team that delivered a long-awaited World Series title. For the Cubs, Ian Happ leads off, followed by Dansby Swanson. Designated hitter Seiya Suzuki bats third. Over his last 16 games, he's batting .344 with 3 homers, 8 RBIs, and an OPS above 1,000. But the Yankees have kept him in check. He's 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts this series. The Cubs haven't been as successful dealing with Gleyber Torres, who continues to look locked in since moving back into the leadoff spot for the Yankees. He's been aboard multiple times in 5 straight games and has an on-base percentage better than .500 over that span. He reached base 2 more times yesterday, beating out an infield single in the first inning and later working a walk. Since the beginning of August, Torres is batting nearly .300 with a .762 OPS, consistently putting traffic on the bases ahead of Soto and Judge. Over his last 20 games, all as the leadoff hitter, Torres is batting .304 with an on-base percentage north of .400. He scored 16 runs. He's not giving up at-bats. He sees 4.6 pitches per plate appearance, second most in baseball to the Tigers' Riley Green. It is a battle for opposing pitchers right off the bat. We are just getting started here on Yankees Batting Practice today, presented by Audi. Coming up next, we hear from Aaron Boone as he meets the media in Chicago. Then we look back on what's been a great road trip for Juan Soto. 2 more times on base yesterday. We'll recap this stretch for him. And later, what's in a name? We hear the stories behind some of the nicknames on this year's team. It's all ahead. Keep it here on Yes and the Yes app.
Yankees Batting Practice today is presented by Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer today.
Want to stop hair loss in its tracks? Through Hims.com, you can explore a range of options that work best for you, so you can grow visibly thicker and fuller hair. Get back your robust head of hair in just 3 to 6 months with doctor-trusted ingredients like finasteride, minoxidil, and a blend of supplements that support healthy hair. 3 in 4 Hims customers say they wish they started using hair treatment earlier. Stop hair loss and regrow hair. Get started today at Hims.com.
It's fall in New York State, and you have to see it. Plan the perfect trip, or just jump in the car. Either way, it's going to be breathtaking. It's going to be an adventure you'll never forget. It's what makes it easy to love New York. Start your getaway at iloveny.com.
You are watching the Yes Network.
Soaring into history.
Your home for award-winning coverage of the New York Yankees.
It's great to catch up, Jamie. How's business?
Good. Are you up to speed with the new beneficial ownership reporting requirements?
Sort of. What's it about?
It's a new initiative to help fight crimes like money laundering, fraud, and drug trafficking. A lot of small businesses like ours just have to report some basic info to the federal government about the real people behind them.
Does that include my cafe?
There are some exemptions for certain companies, but don't worry. There's lots of guidance on the government's website about who needs to file. Check out fincen.gov/BOI. Filing is easy and free. It took me less than 20 minutes.
Looks like I do have to file. Thanks, Jamie. It's great having a supportive business community.
Reporting beneficial ownership information helps protect U.S. national security. Filing is quick, secure, and free. And it's the law. Learn more at fincen.gov/BOI.
Welcome back. 2 more wins for the Yankees over the Cubs this series, including the postseason. The Bombers are 26-6 all-time against the Northsiders. That's the best record against any opponent, an .814 winning percentage. With Clark Schmidt and Nestor Cortez coasting yesterday, the Yankees did not need much from their bullpen. If that changes today, all eyes will be on who's called upon to close it out. Luke Weaver picked up a save in the series opener, but in our Toyota quote of the day, Aaron Boone was asked if closer remains a fluid situation.
I would say fluid. Certainly if it runs out a certain way, I wouldn't hesitate to use Luke again. I had Luke up last night in case, I felt like I needed it at any point behind Nestor. But I feel good that a number of guys, depending on how the game unfolds and where you want to use guys in certain situations, it could be fluid, could be a little bit different each and every night.
Nestor made it clear he wasn't happy with being moved to the bullpen. Do you have any issue with what he said yesterday?
No, I don't. Because at the end of the day, also within those comments are, I don't need everyone to be happy with everything. I want them wanting and expecting the best. There comes a time when, you got to make difficult decisions, and then, it's on all of us, on the players, to go out there and do your job and be a pro. And that's what we saw Nestor yesterday. Clearly, wants to be starting, and certainly there's a case for that, and is now going back into the rotation. But we also saw a guy come out and excel in a low-scoring game yesterday and finish off a great day for us on the mound. So, no, totally okay with that.
The fact that he looked that good in relief, does that kind of change anything in terms of how he's able to handle that role?
We'll see. I mean, I'm not surprised he excelled in that role, because I think, he's done that in the past. And I do think there's, hopefully when we get down to the nitty-gritty, or we get into playoff scenarios where roles can expand, change, evolve as you go. I feel like he's capable, whether it's starting, whether it's coming in a big situation, of getting big, important outs for us. So, moving forward, he's going to play a big role for us.
Jameson Taillon was well liked in that clubhouse when he was a Yankee. Just what did you learn about him as a player in his short time here?
One of my favorite guys I ever got to manage. Just great person, interesting person, great teammate, great pro. You can't draw it up much better than J-Mo from a makeup standpoint. So he left a mark here. He's still close with a lot of guys here because of who he is. So it's always good seeing him. Last year he kind of had his way with us in New York. He pitched really well, and hopefully we can return that favor a little bit and ding him a little bit today. But he's a guy that is as respected as any guy that I've been around in this game.
There are only 2 players in the majors who have on-base percentages better than .400 right now. Aaron Judge at .454, Juan Soto .422. Yesterday, Soto reached safely 2 more times. It's been another good road trip and part of a great season. Soto has reached base safely in 8 consecutive games, and he's 6 for 16 on the trip with a double and a home run. He's 2 home runs shy of 200 for his career, and he'll likely be the 7th youngest player all time to hit the milestone. Soto's next walk will be his 115th of the season, and along with Judge, they would be the first teammates with that many free passes since another dynamic duo, Jay Buhner and Edgar Martinez on the 1997 Seattle Mariners. Soto has a career-high 38 home runs this season, and his next will move him up this star-studded list. Babe Ruth had 54 home runs in his first year with the Yankees, most for a debut season in franchise history. Jason Giambi second with 41, and with his next homer, Soto will tie Roger Maris and Mark Teixeira. It is time for another break on Yankees batting practice today, presented by Audi. Still ahead, we've got much more as we get you ready for the series finale between the Yankees and the Cubs. Stay with us.
Class-leading safety features at every turn. The Hyundai Tucson. Get 1.99% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Well, if you want my 2 cents on interest rates, we got options.
My 2 cents. This one's priced to sell. My 2 cents?
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 Here's my 2 cents. I'm planning for the future. Interest plus interest equals more interest. Come on, man. You can drink that.
Hi, Joan. Perfect timing. I have a few questions.
Of course. Let's look at your plan.
This is the GMC Sierra, powered by the TurboMax engine, with the confidence of 430 pound-feet of best-in-class standard torque. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. Get 1.9% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models, or current eligible GMC owners get over $7,800 total value. We are professional grade GMC.
Make this a summer to share in the 3-row Kia Sorento, the tech-forward Sportage, the available all-wheel drive Seltos, or the IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus Telluride, each one recommended by Consumer Reports. This summer, visit your local Kia dealer. Get 0.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of select new 2024 Sportage and 2024 Sorento models.
Hey fans, please join me and the All Rise Foundation on 9/9 for a special 99 auction. Proceeds will help kids reach their ultimate potential through camps, leadership programs, and mini grants that provide our future leaders with resources and support they need. It's amazing what we can achieve when we all rise to help one another succeed. Watch the Yankees game on Yes on September 9th or visit allrise99.givesmart.com for your chance to win incredible prizes for a great cause.
We're back with a quick check of this date in Yankees history. In 1925, Babe Ruth hammered his 300th career home run in a win over the Red Sox. The second most at the time was Cy Williams with 185. In 1940, Joe Gordon hit for the 10th cycle in franchise history. It happened just 5 times since then. And in 1982, Don Mattingly made his major league debut, playing left field, wearing number 46. It is so good to have you back with us on Yankees batting practice today, presented by Audi. From the Babe to Donnie Baseball, nicknames are part of baseball lore. This year's Yankees team is no different. But what's behind some of those nicknames? Well, let's take a look and hear from some of the guys who would know best.
Nicknames are definitely a big part of baseball. And, it's not often you're calling a guy by his actual name.
Yeah, I guess mine's just AV for now, but we were kind of saying that Verdugo's got the same initials, so he's like, hey, I don't know if he's ever played with another AV or something like that. So we'll have to see where it goes from there.
I mean, everybody calls me Doogie. Like, Doogie's cool. I mean, I hear Dougie as well, so I'll get Dougie, Doogie, AV, but I mean, like I said, Volpe, we call him AV over here, so that one's off. I say, yeah, Doogie or Dugo, but just nobody calls me Alexander. That's it. It's just like, just call me Alex, Doogie, or do whatever you want. Just leave Alexander out, though.
People on my team call me GT. I think it's a little bit more easier than call me Gregor because it's too long. So he's short, and I think it's good.
There's a bunch of guys that might be called G, or their names start with G. So I guess I get the big one.
For me, I mean, everyone pretty much calls me Wellesley or A-Dub, so nothing crazy there.
Clarky, Schmitty, those are like a few things that they call me.
Nicknames oftentimes originate from teammates, and when you go around the diamond, there are many unique ones.
Sammy's a good one. Nestor, I call Ness, or Nasty Nestor, obviously, we'll kind of poke fun at that.
T-shirt, they have fake mustaches now in the stadium. It's just pretty cool to be able to interact with the fans and be able to grab something from them too.
Stro, I like Stro's a good one. I like to make fun of Clay. I always call him Clayton instead, just to kind of get under his skin. So that's about it.
Yeah, I love Riz. I mean, I just call him Riz. GT, Judgy, Big G. I call Garrett Big G too, but I think I'm the only one that does that. So there are a lot of good ones.
Hamilton's a good one. Hart likes to call him Sneaky. I don't know. He's a guy that he'll sneak up on you. He's pretty quiet. Just kind of always sneaking around a little bit. Hart's always kind of got unique nicknames that kind of stick with people.
That's the side that's kind of like the best part of baseball, because you get all these, I don't know if you want to call them inside jokes, but you get like your own little group of funny stuff going on. So when you're with grown men doing that, it gets a little different and it's funny. It's a good time.
Nicknames are, usually earned because of something good you do or something bad you do. So Ian Hamilton, I call him Sneaky, only because he's so quiet, and he seems like whenever I turn around, I'm trying not to step on him because he sneaks up on you. So Clay's the only one who doesn't have a nickname, which is weird because he was a valedictorian. So maybe I need to come up with one for him. But no, other than that, all the other guys I had are gone now.
6. When I was in college at University of Arizona, our hitting coach, Jerry Stitt, started calling me that because that's the number I wore. And I don't know why, but it stuck, and there's a lot of people don't even know my name. They just know me by the nickname. So
And my family doesn't call me Aaron or, well, they don't call me Booney, obviously, but they usually call me Arnie or Arnhole or Arnold Palmtree, like Arn. Some kind of Arn is my nickname with my family. It's weird to hear anyone else say it to me. There's like very few people in my life that will say, hey Arnie, hey Arn. And when it's out of context and not somebody that normally calls me that, it throws me off. But like if my brothers or my mom don't call me that, that would throw me off. So just the context of those things.
I stick with Skipper Boone. One final break on Yankees batting practice today. Presented by Audi, we will wrap things up after this as we prepare for the final game of this road trip. Keep it here on Yes and the Yes app.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
It's fall in New York State, and you have to see it. Plan the perfect trip, or just jump in the car. Either way, it's going to be breathtaking. It's going to be an adventure you'll never forget. It's what makes it easy to love New York. Start your getaway at iloveny.com.
Get 3.9% APR for 36 months plus $1,000 purchase allowance on most 2024 Cadillac models when you finance through Cadillac Financial.
Here's J.C. Escarra. Pitch is swung on, hit in the air, deep right field. J.C. Escarra, he's done it again. Come on, man. J.C. Escarra has just homered. It's homered in every game he's played in this week. Tuesday, Wednesday. He was off Thursday, miraculously for Syracuse. He homered Friday, and he's homered today. That's 4 straight games with a home run for J.C. Escarra.
He's having a week. Want to hear more about the Yankees minors? Check out Conversations, a homegrown podcast. On the most recent episode, Will Warren talks about his big league debut. It's out now on Apple Podcasts. The Yankees began today in first place in the American League East, a half game ahead of Baltimore. The Orioles had an early wake-up call for a rubber game against the Rays, and right now it is a scoreless game in the bottom of the 5th inning. As for some other games on Sunday's slate, Chris Sale goes for the Braves against the Blue Jays. He has 15 straight starts, allowing 2 earned runs or fewer. The Mets will try to make it 10 wins in a row when they take on the Reds. The Royals go for a sweep of the Twins, and Diamondbacks Astros gets the Sunday night treatment. Up next for the Yankees, it's the penultimate homestand of the season. The Royals are in town first. Coverage for games 1 and 2 begin at 6 p.m. right here on Yes and the Yes app. Then on Wednesday, that's a prime game. The Red Sox follow with 4 games before the Bombers head off on a West Coast swing through Seattle and Oakland. That does it for this edition of Yankees Batting Practice Today, presented by Audi. Our next BPTV comes your way tomorrow at 6 p.m. Right now, our game day coverage rolls on. A series sweep in Chicago is the mission. On the day of his 34th birthday, the Yankees ace gets the ball. Happy birthday, Garrett Cole. It's time to hand off to the very best pregame in the business. It's next on Yes and the Yes app.
This is the GMC Sierra, powered by the TurboMax engine, with the confidence of 430 pound-feet of best-in-class standard torque. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. Current eligible GMC lessees can get this low-mileage lease on this 2024 Sierra Elevation for around $389 per month. We are professional-grade GMC.
Your memory is an amazing thing, but sometimes it can start to slow down. But did you know Prevagen can help keep your memory sharp? The secret is the powerful ingredient apoaquarin, originally discovered in jellyfish and found only in Prevagen. In a clinical study, Prevagen was shown to improve memory in subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired. Stay sharp and improve your memory with Prevagen. Prevagen, in stores everywhere without a prescription.
class-leading safety features at every turn. The Hyundai Tucson.
Get 1.99% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
The Bombers are piling up wins in the Windy City with back-to-back shutouts, putting them in position to come away with a sweep over the Cubs. And with those victories, the Yankees leaped back into first place in the American League East, a half game ahead of the Baltimore Orioles. And now birthday boy Garrett Cole gets the ball as the New York Yankees finish up a series with the Chicago Cubs on a Sunday afternoon at Wrigley Field. We certainly hope you're having a great day as we welcome you to the FanDuel Yankees pregame. Bob Lorenz and Todd Frazier with you. Final game of this three-game series. Yankees haven't blown the doors off in terms of offense in the first two games, but it's 2 wins, a chance for a sweep. Let's get your Hyundai opening comment.
Well, what else can you ask for? You got Garrett Cole on the mound. This guy has been dominating as of late, and he does well, really, at Wrigley Field, too. He's 8-1 over there, or 7-1, excuse me, and he's the guy you want on the mound. You're going home after this. Let's salvage this road trip with a sweep and just have him do what he does best. Establish that fastball, which he's done really good. The knuckle curve has been just as dominant, too. So him on the mound, you're at ease. Time to start swinging.
We're going to talk more about that fastball coming up. Right now, let's get it out to Wrigley Field. Meredith Marakovich standing by with the Clubhouse Report presented by your local Ford stores. And let's focus on Cole getting the start today. He's been really good his last 5 on the road. And, oh, yeah, it's his birthday. Why wouldn't he want to get a win on his birthday, right?
How about it? Happy 34th birthday to Garrett Cole. Something tells me there's nothing he'd rather do than pitch on his birthday. And Bob, you mentioned it. He's really been throwing the ball well lately. Over his last 6 starts, pitching to a 1.85 ERA. And the Yankees are just happy he's back out there on the mound. If you remember his last start, he gave the organization and fans perhaps a little bit of a scare heading into the 7th inning. He had some cramping. It was just that cramping. So he is good to go today. No restrictions. I actually had the opportunity to have a conversation with Garrett Cole yesterday, and I asked him just how much he likes pitching here at Wrigley, something he's very familiar with from his Pittsburgh Pirate days.
I really enjoy it. It's a special atmosphere, special park with a ton of history and a lot of unique aspects to the game.
Do you, like many guys, when they come here, check the lake as you're driving in to see if the wind's going to be blowing in or out?
Yeah, you have to. That's part of it. Certainly, and you know, you're liable to get some cold days in the summer too, like today and tomorrow.
Now, speaking of your Pittsburgh days, you're going to be facing off against a former Pittsburgh Pirate and former Yankee, good friend of yours, Jameson Taillon. Just what will that be like for you?
It'll be fun. It would be the first time that we've done it, and you know, I think we're both up for a good competition, and so it'll be. I'm hoping we both come out, you know, feeling pretty good about it. But obviously, we're focused on trying to get the win.
Obviously, you're trying to win, yes. But has there been any banter between the two of you? I know you're still close.
Yeah, I wouldn't say any banter. No, that's not really how we jive. But you know. We spent some time together the other day, and you know, he's just having such a great year, and he's settled in. And he was doing a really great job last year, coming back from a couple injuries and settled in towards the end of the year. So it's good to see him, you know, in a new organization, get his feet.
What allowed you guys to become close friends when you were at the Pirates? What was it about him?
Yeah, well, I mean, when I signed, I moved right into Pirate City with Clay Holmes, and J-Mo was like one room down with Tyler Glasnow, and so, I mean, I don't know, that's where it all started, you know, and J-Mo and I obviously, I mean, J-Mo clicks with everybody. You're not going to find a person that doesn't like J-Mo, but, you know, we've been especially close since those first few days, for sure.
You mentioned the success he's having. What's allowed him to have success in this league, in your opinion?
His perseverance. He's had 2 Tommy Johns. He's a cancer survivor. You know, some people aren't as fortunate as him to be as resilient to come back from it, but at the same time, like, you know, he's not only just survived, but I mean, he's gonna be a 10-year Major League veteran. He represented the Yankees with grace and class. He's a great ambassador for the Cubbies. You know, people in Pittsburgh love him. He pitched really well for Pittsburgh. So, it's just a great story about a great human being, really.
Look at your last start. You're throwing the ball well. Last couple. What leaves you most encouraged?
The command, less non-competitive pitches, sharper on our reads, and physically, kind of settling in, even though, I had the cramps the last start, but feeling settled.
You mentioned the cramping. Have you done anything differently? I know the climate's a little cooler here, but anything to try to prevent that here?
No, I just hydrated through the night of the game, and then just got a little bit of treatment, but there was really nothing there. And like Susan said, I'll have to stay up on the bananas.
You look at that one, and we've seen you do this throughout the course of your career. You did a little bit last start. You have the ability to really dial it up when you need to. How much of a luxury is that?
That really can calm your nerves out there, but especially when you're able to put the ball where you want to put the ball, at 70-80%. That's because sometimes when you try to dial it down or conserve, if the quality is affected, that's tough. But it's really the sweet spot when you can execute at a little less intensity and then have the ability to just add another level.
Time is ticking away in this regular season. Does it feel more intense for you in September at all?
It feels almost relaxing to me because, our favorite part of the year is coming up, and the games start to have a little more, gravitas, I guess. Like they mean a little bit more. You're more aware of where you are in the standings and what you need to do. And so you come to the park and you're just energized to play, knowing that your reward in the next few weeks is to be in the playoffs.
You mentioned the standings. You guys have been neck and neck with the Orioles, it seems like, all year long. You have a 3-game series with them after you return from the West Coast. Just what do you think this final stretch run is going to be like for this team?
I think it's going to be exciting. I think we got quite a few ball games before we get to Baltimore. They're just such a really great club. I mean, they're so balanced. Play defense well, they hit well, they pitch well, and they've been a tough opponent for us. We haven't played our best baseball yet. We certainly we can up it a little bit here and there for sure, and that should bode well for us down the stretch. And, like I said, these are my favorite times, so I'm looking forward to those games.
Well, you know what? We're cheating the people at home. This is taped a day early. It's actually your birthday tomorrow, so big plans for 34.
Pitch well. That's number one. Pitch well. Get out of here with a W. And then, hopefully my boys are still awake by the time we get home.
So, Caden and Everett, your dad will be home in a little while, hopefully after a Yankees win. Now, you heard Garrett Cole talking about his relationship, his friendship with Jameson Taillon, who's going for the Cubs this afternoon. He spent 2 years with the New York Yankees, and he was absolutely beloved in that clubhouse. I spoke to Aaron Boone about managing Taillon earlier today.
One of my favorite guys I ever got to manage. Just great person, interesting person, great teammate, great pro. You can't draw it up much better than J-Mo from a makeup standpoint. So he left a mark here. He's still close with a lot of guys here because of who he is. So it's always good seeing him. Last year he kind of had his way with us in New York. He pitched really well, and hopefully we can return that favor a little bit and ding him a little bit today. But he's a guy that is as respected as any guy that I've been around in this game.
And you heard Aaron Boone saying that he had his way with them last year. He went 8 strong innings in the Bronx. The Yankees are hoping that is not the case this afternoon. There is one quick note on the injury front, and that brings us to our Morgan & Morgan injury report. John Birdie is expected to be activated this upcoming week. Aaron Boone saying that could happen as early as tomorrow, so something to keep an eye out for. And really, that looks like the team will be complete after that. They had a bunch of guys that were coming back, and Birdie seems to be the last addition, at least in the near future here for this Yankees roster. But guys, the business at hand today, trying to get the sweep here at Wrigley on an absolutely beautiful day for baseball here in Chicago.
Yeah, Meredith, before you go, quick Windy City wind check. We've done it for 2 days. How's it looking?
You know what? I think the ponytail might have been a fail today. I don't think I need it. There's no wind right now.
Okay.
It's crazy. Not so windy in the Windy City right now, but we know that can change very quickly here at Wrigley.
Maybe good for the hitters. We'll find out. Thanks, Meredith. We'll see you in just a bit with Michael and Flash. Now, down the stretch run here on Yes, we continue to invite you viewers to show us in different ways you support the Bronx Bombers. Use the QR code on screen with the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and post pictures to social media that reflect your love for the Yankees. We might spotlight you in a future game. Pinstripe Pride is brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Time for our first break on the FanDuel Yankees pregame. Coming up, they might be friends off the field, but they'll be foes today. We break down the pitching matchup between Garrett Cole and Jameson Taillon next on Yes and the Yes app.
The Yankees pregame show on Yes is presented by FanDuel. New FanDuel customers can get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today.
This is you, and this is your first hunch of the season. It's parlay time. With FanDuel, a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV will give you many more.
Buffalo. It's Broncos time. Psst. I'd take the over.
And you can easily act on whichever one speaks to you.
Eagles, Browns, Broncos, Bills. They all...
And make every moment more.
New customers bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets. Plus, every customer gets a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV. Only from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
Thursday night football on Prime. It's on.
Ready to have some fun? This week, it's Buffalo versus Miami as Thursday night football is back. AFC East division rivals battle it out in a high-powered offensive showdown you won't want to miss. What a catch! It's Josh Allen and the Bills versus Tua and the Dolphins. Stream Thursday night football only on Prime.
Driving the Nissan Rogue with Google built in is like...
Hey, Google. Turn on Rocky's Food.
It's like the ultimate connection. See why it's been awarded a Consumer Guide Best Buy and recommended by Consumer Reports. Drive the Nissan Rogue today.
Get 2.9% financing for 60 months on Rogue, one of 6 Nissan vehicles with starting MSRP under $30,000.
You are watching the Yes Network.
Soaring into history.
Your home for award-winning coverage of the New York Yankees. The Yankees pregame show on Yes is brought to you in part by Hyundai. There's never been a better time to test drive that Hyundai you've always wanted. Hyundai. There's joy in every journey. Visit HyundaiUSA.com today.
It is time for the pregame odds segment presented by FanDuel. The Yankees go for the sweep in the Windy City, and they're favored over the host Cubs. The over-under is 8.5. For some player props, let's go with who's hitting a home run. Aaron Judge is plus 200 to go deep for the first time in 11 games. Giancarlo Stanton is plus 255. On the Cubs side, Dansby Swanson is plus 480, and Ian Happ is plus 500. New FanDuel customers can get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today.
Let's take a look at our Yale-New Haven Health key matchup. Yankees pitching so far this series. In the first 2 games, they've allowed just 5 hits, no runs, 18 strikeouts, as the pitching and the Yanks recorded back-to-back shutouts for the 4th time this season. And now for the Cubs today, Todd, they get the birthday boy / buzzsaw known as Garrett Cole, coming off a game in which he said, I got the fastball, I'm going to use the fastball.
Well, first, we know he's not going to have any applesauce. He told us that he needs the bananas for his cramps. You don't cramp when you eat the bananas. So for him, we'll get that out of the way. And yes, he has been dominating with that fastball, and he loves playing at Wrigley Field, as we know. He works both sides of the plate. When you think fastball as a hitter, you're looking for one spot, and as professional, you don't get that spot, you're going to be swinging at everything, and that's what happened here in Texas. They got fastballs that look good. They got that rising action, and in Wrigley Field, 15 out of the 16 starts he's had have been quality starts when he's there.
That's good stuff. And by the way, it's been all quality lately when you look at some of the things Cole is doing He's 4-1 over his last 5 road starts, a total of just 6 earned runs in those 5 road starts. He's 11-3 against the Cubs in 16 starts, and Todd mentioned 7-1 with a 2.29 ERA at Wrigley Field. And oh, by the way, the only other time he started on his birthday, how about 15 strikeouts in 2019? So, like, he treats his own birthday a little special, and that might be to the detriment of the Cubs.
Yeah, I think they're going to be in trouble today, especially, hey, birthday boy, he knows he's going home, he's going to see his family. He's going to want a quick game, so he's going to use that fastball a lot. And like he said, I want to go home and see my boys. Yeah, it should be a quick one.
You know, one thing that he said to Meredith that really stood out, too, about how well he's been pitching, and that's the fact that he said not a lot of non-competitive pitches. There have been times where he's gotten a little outside the zone, maybe a few more walks. Not the case. Like, guys are chasing that perfect spot right up in the zone.
And I think it's efficiency, too. As he's come into his own as the first time I've ever faced him, he's, you know, he was just throwing. Now he's got perception, he's got depth in his fastball, and he's got the rotation. I would love to see how many rotations he does have on his fastball, because Max Scherzer was a guy I faced. The ball would rise. Now he has something like that, and he has the knuckle curveball, too, which opponents aren't hitting too well either.
I was going to say, as much as we talk about the fastball and how good it's been, he's been getting a lot of outs on that knuckle curve, which he kind of tweaked about 4 or 5 starts ago.
Talk about Clark Schmidt, talk about Garrett Cole. These two guys have premier and dominant knuckle curveballs. Opponents can't hit it. It's one of those where it has the bite, it starts up high and drops low. It's not a sweeper action, it's that nasty bite where you're not going to be able to hit that ball really well.
So let me ask you this. You're an opponent in the opposing dugout. You come to bat against Garrett Cole, and you know he's got like 5 pitches, right? But you're having an afternoon where all you're seeing is fastball, knuckle curve, and you're like, we can't figure this guy out. That's got to catch up to you at some point in the game.
That's the most confusing part. Even as a veteran hitter, you're understanding, all right, I'm going to sit fastball this whole time. You're probably going to get 2, maybe 3, and next thing you know, that knuckle curve comes. Okay, that's fine, but I got to hit one of those fastballs. You might get one to hit. You might get a couple that are up a little bit. It's just a matter of seeing the right one. It seems like guys are swinging at the ones that are balls. They look like strikes, and they go out of the zone, and Garrett's going to take that every day of the week.
Well, here are the Cubs. They're going to try to hit Garrett Cole today. Lineup courtesy of Toyota. Seiya Suzuki, a .344 hitter over his last 16 with 13 runs scored. Dansby Swanson in his career, a 3-for-8 hitter off Garrett Cole, while Isaac Paredes back in the lineup today is just 5 for 21. And by the way, this is a Cubs team, little different lineup, but that had just 4 hits yesterday and only got 1 runner past second base. Well, the guy getting the ball for the Cubs is Cole's good buddy, Jameson Taillon. And for Taillon, coming off a really strong start in which he got a no decision, 7 shutout innings against the Pirates.
Yeah, and he's not striking out many guys either, though, and he's not walking many guys. So it's a matter of being ready and being ready to hit the ball, and the Yankees are going to have to do that today. Yeah, he's 5.4, 5.40 ERA the last 7 starts. That's tough. Rizzo hits him very well. He has 400 average, 2 homers, 6 RBIs. It's time for him to take off today against him again.
I feel like you're telling us to keep an eye on Anthony Rizzo.
That's one of those guys. Yeah, you got to watch him for sure.
Well, let's take a look at his arsenal courtesy of StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. Yankees fans remember Taillon from his time in pinstripes, but now with Chicago, heavy on the 4-seam cutter sweeper, but again, a little bit of a kitchen sink guy, right, with 5 quality pitches.
Yeah, and he's been using that cutter a lot more. I guess you call that the equalizer, as I talk about all the time. 0 home runs against that cutter this year. He's going to be deceptive. He's a veteran guy, as we said. He's going to use both sides of the plate, so you have to be ready for at least one of those pitches. Go up there with a plan. Don't steer away from it. Yankees been doing okay. It's time they got to get going with some more hits as they get moving forward.
He also knows, thanks to StatCast, that 4-seamer 289 against. Is that why guys kind of develop a cutter a little bit more to get guys off the fastball, give it a little movement?
Whether it's a cutter or a sinker. So you want that depth too as well. So 4-seamers aren't going to do it anymore now, especially this time of the year and how guys are playing. I'd still be playing if guys still throw those 4-seamers, but unlikely. But still, you have to have a lot of movement, and I think developing another pitch, especially as you get older and the way guys, how fast they're thrown, nothing better than that.
We've seen good at-bats, by the way. You mentioned Anthony Rizzo at Wrigley Field. Probably not surprising because he played so many games there. But What is it about him in that lineup that just lengthens that Yankees lineup?
Yeah, and I think he's batting seventh, which is something I don't think he's been a part of or understands a little bit, just because as you get older, you struggle a little bit, and we've seen that from him. But putting him in the lineup, he's a leader. He's the quiet leader on the team, and he told us before, I'd like to retire a Yankee, even after asking the question of coming back to Chicago. So for him, he loves it there. The players love him there, and you see in that locker room, they all come together around him.
Well, time for another break on the FanDuel Yankees pregame, and it's Hall of Fame weekend for the Cubs. Being honored are Kerry Wood, the electric former Rookie of the Year, and Aramis Ramirez, who hit 239 homers in a Cubs uniform. More to come, so stick around.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best, because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor, and the potential to take you anywhere. It's Chevy truck season. Get 1.9% financing, plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
And coverage of your favorite teams remains the same.
We are 880 ESPN New York. How about that?
Of course, I'd reset my preset.
Oh, I love it.
ESPN New York on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
A world-class franchise with world-class fans deserves a world-class ride. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. Visit your local Tri-State Audi dealer to experience the 2024 Audi Q5 today.
At Papa John's, we start with better. Like our fresh, never frozen dough made from 6 simple ingredients. And our dough can save you dough. Get 2 or more Papa Pairings favorites for just $6.99 each. Order now on the app from Papa John's.
Half of young adults are at risk of hearing damage from loud sounds. So why is this happening? We know not to bake in the sun for hours and to get our eyes checked regularly. We buckle up to save lives. And we know that smoking kills. So do poor diet choices and poor life choices. But why are we so reckless with our hearing? We take hearing for granted. Hearing damage from loud sounds is permanent, but preventable. We take common sense steps for our health every day. Let's make hearing part of it. Wear earplugs. Turn it down. Give your ears a rest. Love your ears. Learn more at hearinghealthfoundation.org. Keep listening.
The Yankees Pregame Show on Yes is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com.
Nestor Cortez picked up the win in yesterday's ballgame out of the bullpen, and here's what he said about his job assignment yesterday. Obviously, being moved to the bullpen, I was upset. I feel like amongst all the starters, I've been the workhorse here. Once Cole went down, they picked me to be the opening day starter. Not necessarily number 1, but the opening day starter. I had to switch my routine there, and now they do this. I'm never going to back down from a challenge. I'm never going to leave my teammates out to dry. You're always going to get my best effort no matter if I'm happy or not. That's what I did today. I just came out there and proved that I can be put in any situation. And from here on out, if that's what my role is, then I'll accept it. Todd, what were your comments after hearing that?
I didn't see any problem in what he said. He's a veteran pitcher. He's allowed to come out. That doesn't mean he's an I guy. It means, hey, listen, you know what I can do. I know what I can do. I felt like it hurt a little bit, understandably, but he's a team guy. He's going to go out there and do whatever he has to do. As a veteran, that's fine. He's not cocky. He's confident about his abilities. Yeah, he was the #1 starter. I came out there and did what I had to do this year. Was it kind of a slap in the face? Maybe he felt like that a little bit, but at the end of the day, he wants to win too. So his focus right now is winning ball games and winning championships. I respect everything he said, and I respect what he's doing as a team player.
Yeah, you have to appreciate the honesty as well. That's what reporters certainly want. All right, let's check out the Yankees lineup today that will go up against Jameson Taillon. It comes your way courtesy of Toyota. Anthony Rizzo, his career at Wrigley Field has been so good, a near 300 hitter, 109 home runs. He's, as you mentioned, a 400 hitter against Jameson Taillon with a couple of homers. Gleyber has an 8-game hitting streak right now. And on the flip side of that, for Alex Verdugo, he's just 4 of 19 off Jameson Taillon with 3 strikeouts. So the offense got to get going a little bit more. 3 runs in the opener, 2 yesterday. I mean, can you rely on Garrett Cole to throw up zeros? Probably, but you want to see a little more traction in those at-bats.
And I think the best part of it is they found a leadoff guy. They've been going through a bunch of guys through the whole season. Gleyber Torres has been dominant. Last 20 games, batting .304, and he's been getting on base a lot. And I think that's the best part of it, knowing Soto, knowing Judge are the 2 top guys of on-base percentage this year. So if you can get on, like you saw in the first inning yesterday, you're at least going to get 1 run because one of those guys is going to do some damage.
We've talked about Gleyber with longer at-bats, and I do want to get your perspective. Let's say you're on deck, he's batting first, and he sees 1 pitch, he's aggressive, or he sees 5 or 6 pitches. How does that help or hurt you?
No, well, it's going to help. If you're going to see a lot of pitches from me, you're going to see at least 2 or 3 types of pitches that he throws. So as a batter on deck, even the guy in the hole and Judge, Stanton, and, Wells, they're watching like, all right, we just saw his whole arsenal right now, whether he swung or not. Seeing 4 to 7 pitches is huge. And then you go up there knowing, all right, at least I've seen him from the side. I have a game plan, and I can work from that.
All right, so maybe a storyline coming out of talking to Meredith today is the fact that right now there's not a ton of wind. Past 2 days there has been. Of course, can it change? Yes. But we talked about this, the frustration, Todd, and there were a couple balls that were hit. For example, Stanton and Judge, where you were kind of shaking your head like, man, I've been through that before.
Yeah, and right when he hits it, I remember yesterday, I'm like, that's gone. Look at the catcher. Bethencourt was pissed too. Right to the track on the ivy. Yeah, it is frustrating, but you got to know what field you're playing at. These 2 guys can definitely turn that wind around, and then you see this slider here, a little sweeper action. Definitely thought that was out. Any other field, any other day without the wind. Those are 2 home runs, and we're not talking about the Yankees finally figuring out a way to hit the ball as more as they should.
Judge has not been hitting homers, been getting hits, though. That swing kind of led you to believe that maybe the timing's, he's kind of getting that back again.
Yeah, and there was a couple foul balls that you and I saw. We're like, ooh, he just missed him, and I think that's when he starts coming back. The double the other day, a single, got a guy in. Even a steal on the base, as silly as it sounds, can get your mind back in the right position to be like, all right, I'm relaxed. I know I'm a good ball player, even though he's not struggling at all.
Yeah. All right. So let's turn our attention to the Rays and Orioles, because the Orioles are a half game back. We mentioned that after last night's ball game against the Rays, and they're playing the early afternoon game today. Let's go talk top of the second. Jose Caballero and Taylor Walls. It's a double steal for Caballero. His 39th stolen base, leads the American League. And later at that at bat, then Rortvedt would strike out. So still scoreless after the top of the second. But the Rays taking a lead here thanks to Johnny DeLuca.
Yeah, that's an absolute missile to left center, 398 feet. You don't see many go out there. Big 2-run lead in the top of the 7th.
All right, so 2-0, top of the 7th. Your American League playoff picture looks like this, with the Yanks up by a half game right now, pending the outcome of both of their games today. Guardians lead the Central by 3.5, and then the Astros up by 5.5 out west. Well, our colleague Jack Curry sure knows how to dig up a scoop, and earlier he landed an exclusive with a big name on the Bronx baseball scene.
We have a special guest from the Bronx Buds today. It's Coach Bud joining us. Coach, how do you think the Yankees played today?
Oh, I think they look phenomenal. Reminded me of when I was playing back in the day. Now, I was no Aaron Judge, but I was pretty close. Hit 2 homers against the Queens Hamsters, and we won the game.
Riveting story, Coach Bud. So the Yankees notched the win today. What are some of the things they did well during this game?
Well, as sort of a baseball expert myself, It all comes down to good pitching, having a high whiff and a low ERA, making sure you get more runs than the other team. The Yankees did both of those things today, and that's how they won.
Coach, you definitely know what you're talking about. Any final words of wisdom for Yankee fans?
As I always say to the Bronx Buds, keep playing good, and good things will happen. Oh, and for more of my baseball insights, catch me and the Bronx Buds on the Yes app. Go Yankees and go Bronx Buds!
And there you have it, folks. Coach Bud's insight about the Yankees. Make sure to check out Coach and the rest of the Bronx Buds on the Yes app.
Jack's cartoon debut, and I got to talk to Coach Bud. I kind of feel like he's gunning for my job. He looked a little too comfortable in my seat, Todd.
He looked very comfortable. I'm looking back there. Did he leave you anything? 2 homers against the Queens Hamsters? I want to know who's on that squad. And guess what? He knows what he's talking about whip and ERA and all that stuff. Good for him.
Yeah, Coach Bud knows his stuff.
All right, time for another break on the FanDuel Yankees pregame. And a reminder, the kickoff between the Yanks and Cubs isn't until 2:20. So coming up next, Todd tackles his key to the game. Could it involve the offense or maybe the defense? The series finale between 2 special teams is ahead. Keep it here on Yes and the Yes app.
Hey fans, please join me and the All Rise Foundation on 9/9 for a special 99 auction. Proceeds will help kids reach their ultimate potential through camps, leadership programs, and mini grants that provide our future leaders with resources and support they need. It's amazing what we can achieve when we all rise to help one another succeed. Watch the Yankees game on Yes on September 9th or visit allrise99.givesmart.com for your chance to win incredible prizes for a great cause.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere. It's Chevy truck season. Get 1.9% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
This is you, and this is your first hunch of the season.
It's parlay time.
With FanDuel, a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV will give you many more.
Buffalo. It's Broncos time. I'd take the over.
And you can easily act on whichever one speaks to you.
Eagles, Browns, Broncos, Bills. They all...
And make every moment more.
New customers bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets. Plus, every customer gets a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV. Only from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
Next time you stop at a BP or Amoco, use the all-new Earnify app to earn points and get rewards.
Jay, want anything from inside? Points.
Let's see who really gets the points.
Points at the pump?
Every time. Buy one, get one? Points. Nice.
Hey, what?
Get the new Earnify app from BP and Amoco and start earning and redeeming rewards at the pump and in-store today.
It's fall in New York State, and you have to see it. Plan the perfect trip, or just jump in the car. Either way, it's going to be breathtaking. It's going to be an adventure you'll never forget. It's what makes it easy to love New York. Start your getaway at iloveny.com.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere. It's Chevy truck season. Get 1.9% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups.
See your local Chevy dealer.
We said we'd never give in to a meltdown.
Mariella.
Never leave the house looking, well, and never let them out of our sight. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
What would you do for clean water? For over 700 million people around the world, the answer is literally anything. Walk for hours, stop going to school, sacrifice sleep, health, money, and time, all for water that's not even safe to drink. It doesn't have to be this way. This is a problem we can solve together. Join Charity Water in our mission to end the global water crisis. Visit charitywater.org today.
The Yankees pregame show on Yes is brought to you in part by Citizens. Make sense of your money. Visit citizensbank.com/made ready to learn more.
I'm News 12 meteorologist Alex Calamia with your game day forecast, and we've got some lovely weather in Chicago for the game. Temperatures are in the mid-70s, warming up a little bit throughout the game with a lot of sunshine. The high today in Chicago is 74 degrees. That's about as comfortable as it gets. And if you're looking for your hyperlocal forecast for the New York tri-state area, plenty of ways that you can watch News 12.
Thanks for that update, and I just confirmed it on the weather app, Todd. Yesterday, wind was about 15 miles an hour, gusts up to 23. Today, it's blowing about 6-7 miles an hour. So what do you think? A few balls flying out of Wrigley today?
Looking at what I'm seeing, the flags out there, it's starting to kick up a little more. One flag is going to left field, the other's going to right. We could see a split wind here.
Ooh.
I'll be honest, I've seen that before. So when you hit it to center, we don't know which way it's going to go. Be prepared.
So so you're saying outfielders be prepared, right? There might be some
everybody be prepared.
wacky hijinks out there if you're trying to corral a fly ball.
Let's hope it's blowing out the left center. I think looking at that, wow. This could be very interesting today. There could be a lot of home runs.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. You told us to keep an eye on Rizzo against Tyone because he has such good at-bats against him. Really cool matchup, too. Tyone against his former teammate, Garrett Cole, and they've never faced off against each other professionally like this.
Yeah, I think this could be very exciting, knowing these two were best of friends as they came up. One was a first-rounder, as we know, and Cole, he's got that up on Tyone for the second-rounder. But these two guys are very good friends, but they're going to battle each other. I know inside the lines and inside the foul lines there, they're going to want to beat each other. So that's going to be the fun part about it. Garrett Cole is ready to rock. But my key right now is they got to hit the ball just a little bit more. Winning the game 3-0 and 2-0, I think that's awesome. But at the same time, that's not going to happen throughout the rest of the season here. So find a way to get on base, find a way to dominate. They get on base all the time. Now it's time to go bridge, as we call it, into those stands right there.
Cole looking to dominate, but think about this. The way the Yankees have pitched in the first two games of the series, coming off an off day on Thursday, that bullpen is set up in really good shape.
The bullpen is perfect. So I am curious to see exactly who they bring out. Maybe Cole will pitch 9 innings. You never know. But at the same time, is it likely? Probably not. Who's going to be the first guy they're going to bring into there, and that's kind of going to signify basically what Boone might do for the rest of the way.
Now, you mentioned this. We did see Luke Weaver close out a game. It was Nestor yesterday. That Holmes could be, if he's not willing to put him in a closer role again just yet, maybe a good 7th or 8th inning guy.
Put him there. I think that's a great spot for him because he's a guy that he can actually throw a little bit harder, understanding that he's not that guy that they're going to need the final 3 outs. Luke Weaver has been very good. He's the guy right now. We'll see if Clay Holmes comes in that 7th or 8th. But again, they have plenty of guys lefty or righty.
Ian Hamilton came off the IL. He's like, I want to pitch. Anyway, we'll see what happens. It's Garrett Cole on the mound against Jameson Tyone and the Cubs. It's Michael Kay, John Flaherty, and Meredith Morakovitz with a call. Todd and I will see you on the postgame. Have a terrific day and enjoy the ball game. Coming up next on Yes and the Yes app.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?